Okay, so you're thinking like a magical kind of, okay, magical. Oh, okay, like poof, like a rabbit out of a hat. Okay, yeah. Oh, you like rabbits. Oh, cool. And then, oh, magical like a castle. Oh, hi, friend. Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second, please. I have something really cool going on today. I'm really glad you're here for it, actually. A very important client just asked me to help design their Halloween costume. Do you want to help me? Okay, awesome. Hold on, let me finish hearing what they want. Okay, so you're thinking magical, like maybe a what? Like a bug? Yeah, I'm sure we can get some. Oh, and spooky. Okay, like magical. Oh, fantasy. Like, okay. Oh, with some sci-fi elements. Okay. Yeah, I'm sure we can make that happen. Oh, you want to see 5 different ideas from us today? Yeah. Okay, no problem. Why don't you just go wait outside? Yeah, oh, you like going outside, great. Okay, you just go right outside, the door's right over there, and I'll consult with my friend, my co-creator, and we'll come up with some drawings, and then when you come back in, we'll get your measurements, okay? Awesome, thank you so much. Yep, right out that way. Take a left, okay. Oh my goodness, I am so excited. A very high profile client asked me to do some fashion design. Do you like designing clothes and costumes, or do you like dressing up? Me too, and so does this client. They have some very particular ideas about what they want to see for their Halloween costume. Would you want to see my sketches and help me get measurements and help me craft these things and see the fashion show at the very end? You would? Okay. Let's get our client back in here. Oh, hi, perfect timing. Come on in. We'll grab your measurements. Okay, we'll measure them up and then we'll get to crafting. So before we get some measurements, do you want to see some of the ideas I came up with, sir? Okay. All right, let's check it out. Here's some ideas I think really captured what you were wanting out of your Halloween costumes. First idea is unibrown. Do you like that? You'd have like a horn, some fancy hair. Okay. And then second, HB monster. See your teeth? That'd be cool. Okay, and then you said you want it to be magical. Houdini brown with a top hat. Cool. And then we have Hashapillar. Like you like bugs. It kind of reminds me of the very hungry caterpillar, yeah? Yeah. And then, this is my personal favorite, Bat Dog. Yeah, you like that one? We'll make you some ears, some wings. That'll be so cool. All right, let's get some measurements so that we can make these costumes bespoke, special to fit just this one very special pup. All right, let's get some pup measurements. We're gonna use this measuring tape. It's a ruler, but it's flexible so that we can bend and measure. So first measurement is ear to ear. So I'm gonna measure right here and 3 inches. Let's write it down. 3 inches. Now I'm going to measure the circumference of his head. Circumference means all the way around, okay? So I'm gonna start with the 1. Good boy. And measure. Don't eat my measuring tape. And 14 inches. 14 inches. I'm gonna measure from neck to tail, the waist circumference, the chest circumference, and his neck circumference for the rest of my costumes. And then to the studio. Welcome to the studio. I am so excited to get crafting with you. I think we should start with Bat Dog. Bat Dog. To make this a little easier for you to follow along at home, if you want to make something along with this episode, I put together this whole little packet. There's lots of things in here. Let me show you. Hashbrown costumes, and then a drawing of each one that we designed for him. And then I made a page that'll walk you through the measurements for Hashbrown and how I'm gonna make each one of these things. You might need to change the measurements for your dog or cat or goldfish. You'll notice I changed the names a little bit as I went. I decided that the monster looked a little bit more like an alien, so I changed it to Hbelian because I liked that. Unibrown, Hashdini, Bat Dog, that's what we need. Catterbrown. And then I made a template for all of the pieces that I'm gonna need to cut out of foam or felt that aren't just measurements, so you can use this along with me. There's a blank sheet for your pup's measurements if you want to measure the circumference of their head or the length of their back. And then maybe you don't have a dog at home, but you still want to design? No problem. I made you some coloring sheets. Get designing, people. You can find this whole packet at KylieMakesIt.com. Okay, and since we're starting with the bat costume, we should probably start by cutting out the bat wing template. Let's go. Bat wing. Now, how many wings do we need for our costume? 2. So I'm gonna use this foam and cut 2 wings from this template. In fact, you don't even need to use this template. You could make your own. What kind of wings would your bat have? All right, we have 1, 2 bat wings. I'm gonna have them rest over there for a minute. Now, I designed all of these costumes to go in kind of a headband around Hashbrown's head. I'm gonna show you how I'm making that, and then it'll be pretty much the same for each one of our costumes, so I won't walk you through that every time. But basically, I'm gonna take 2 pieces of felt, and with Hashbrown's measurements, these pieces of felt need to be 9.5 inches long, about 2 or 3 inches. Then I'm gonna cut a piece of foam that is the distance between his ears. This is because for a lot of these costumes, there needs to be a little extra something right on top, like for this one, bat ears, and I wanted a little bit more support up top. So I'm actually gonna make like a foam sandwich, okay? So I'm gonna use my trusty hot glue. Remember, be careful, hot glue is hot. And I'm going to put it on one end of this felt, and then a little more glue, and put the other piece of felt right on top of it, right at one end of this piece of felt. You see how there's that little piece of overlap now that's a little stronger than the rest? Yep, that's what we're gonna do for most of these costumes. Next up, we need to make some space for Hashbrown's ears because his ears are hanging out of this costume because his ears are just so cute. So I'm just gonna cut like a T shape, like the letter T, into each side for his ears. And then, boom, just like that. That'll give a little room for his ear. Do the same thing on the other side. Ta-da! Now we have a little dog bat dog headband. Let's attach some ears. Last thing to do with this is to add the Velcro. Velcro has one rough side and one soft side. These, the rough side, hook into this, the soft side. This is the hook, this is the latch. So when you attach it, you just need to make sure that they're gonna overlap in the right way. Okay, does it work? Does it work? Does it work? Yes, it does. You wait over there while we make the band that'll go around Hashbrown's belly. So for this measurement, you're gonna need your dog's chest measurement, or a little bit smaller depending on how your dog is built. You might wanna do another measurement right around their middle. But when I measured Hashbrown, it was 22 inches. So I added an inch for the Velcro and got to 23 inches. I'm gonna find the middle, right about here. So you need to cut a line that is the same length as the very edge of your wing. One cool thing about foam and how you can mark it is it does leave an impression. It leaves an indent when you scratch into it. So I'm just gonna use the side of my scissors and that'll mark exactly where I want to cut. And ta-da! 2 wing holes. Now I'm going to insert my wings. 1 and 2. I'm gonna cut a little slit right in the middle of each one of these where they come out on the other side. And I'm going to glue one down this way and one down this way. That way, this wing will stand straight out instead of just leaning to the back or leaning to the front. So one down this way and one down this way. Let it cool, let it cool, let it cool. Let it cool, let it cool, let it cool. One down this way and one down this way. That is gonna look amazing. What sound do bats make? Can you do it? Amazing. This is almost a costume for me. Next up, the HB monster or HB-alien, whichever you decide. Does it look more like a monster or more like an alien? I don't know, the eyes are giving alien, the teeth are giving monster. You can decide. We're gonna start with the same kind of headband situation that we made for Bat Dog, except I made the foam part a little bit longer because we have more eyes than ears. And I didn't cut ear holes because you see in our drawing, we covered up his ears to give more room for the eyeballs. We are going to need the alien eye template. Let me cut that out quick. Now I'm gonna cut 3 pieces of foam to this template. Now I need to glue on my googly eyes. Okay. Next step is to cut little lines into this. Again, the same width as the bottom of this eyeball thing, because that's the part that's gonna in. And we're gonna do the same thing that we did with the bat wings. We're gonna cut the end on the inside and fold it both ways so that this stands straight up. Okay. Now I have 1, 2, 3 slots on top to put in my 1, 2, 3 eyeballs. Doing the same thing that I did with the bat wings. Oh my goodness. I want this. I'm gonna measure this for my own head and make me one. A layer of glue down this whole thing. Glue on my teeth. And then I'll cut my triangles from there. Cute! Next up is unibrown. I like it because it almost sounds like unibrow, but it's unibrown. Okay, this one's super fun, and I can't wait for the Hashbrown fashion show at the end of this episode to see how cute he is in this one. So I made the same headband as we did with Bat Dog. We need to cut out some more templates for this one. We need to cut out a template for the unicorn hair and a template for the unicorn cone. So here's the unicorn hair template. Check. And then we need the unicorn horn template. That's fun to say, unicorn horn. I'm gonna cut both of these out of foam. I'm using pink because it's what I had. I know my colors are a little bit different in the drawing. That's because I drew before I looked at my materials. You can pick whatever color you want or whatever color you have to make any of these things. That's the awesome thing about art, You don't need to make it like anybody else's version, even if it was your version. Now we gotta roll up this horn. So what I'm going to suggest is that you put a little bead of glue. Doop, 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 doop. And then be careful, because hot glue is hot. But you're gonna roll it. Love it. You'll notice in my design, I have some different colors twisting down the horn. I don't have a darker pink foam, so I thought, why not use some pipe cleaners? Our next costume is Houdini Brown or Hashdini. I can't decide. I wonder what you would pick. What's funner, Hashdini, Houdini Brown? Hashdini, Houdini Brown. Okay, we are going to start with, you guessed it, the same headband, 3 inches and a hole for the ears, Velcro under the chin. He's gonna be so cute in this fashion show. Focus. This is the base for his top hat. You get to make some creative decisions. How high do you want your top hat to be? How wide do you want your top hat to be? I made the decision to make mine this high and this wide. You get to pick. So make a ring. So if you want it wider, make this longer. If you want it taller, make it wider, higher. You know what I mean. Then I need to put a top on my top hat. Otherwise it's just a hat. So I'm gonna put some glue around here. Awesome, right in the middle. And then we need to add this little red band. That's what we have in this design. So I'm gonna use felt. And bloop. Oh, that was kind of fun. Oh, I'm glad it popped right back up. Now we need to make him a cape. So I cut a length of foam the size of his collar, and I'm gonna attach some Velcro to the ends. I'm gonna make sure that the sides are the same by folding it in half. I wonder what your magician name would be if you were a magician. I am gonna glue this to just one side of this, so it kind of covers it up. Because that'll go right on the inside by his throat. What a fancy gentleman. And then we have to add a cape to the back. For that, I'm using flowy fabric, okay? So not foam, not felt. I'm using a regular fabric so that it has a little bit more movement. Because if this is like magic, it doesn't move in the same way. Again, you need the right fabrics for the job. You can decide how wide you want your cape to be for your pup. Do I want it to be that long? Maybe a little shorter. Ooh, sometimes with fabric you can do this cool thing. Watch, you cut a little slit and then... Instant replay. Then I'm just gonna glue this right on to the collar. Hashdini. This costume is heavily inspired by one of my favorite books, The Very Hungry Caterpillar. We are going to make our headband again because we're gonna make it a little bit different this time. First step's exactly the same. Add your foam into your felt. Second step, however, gets wild. I am going to add a pipe cleaner right in the middle. So let's make sure they're about the same height. With the pipe cleaner in the sandwich, I'm gonna add the last piece of bread. I mean felt, okay? So the pipe cleaner comes out of one side for an antenna, but we're gonna need to cut a little hole for it to come out of this side. And we have caterpillar antennas, cool, right? Let's add the pom-poms now, and a pom-pom. We could even give these a little bend. Blah, blah, blah. For this one, I'm going to use the measurement that went down Hashbrown's back, which conveniently is the same length as this foam. And I'm going to cut this into 3 circles. That look like a good caterpillar back? Now, before we get to decorating, I'm going to add the straps that'll hold this onto Hashbrown's back. We're using 2. We're going to use his chest measurement and his waist measurement so that we can hold it front and back so it doesn't flomp all over. So, and then this was his waist, which was shorter. Awesome. Okay, now I'm going to spend a little bit of time decorating this a little bit more because I really like the Very Hungry Caterpillar and I want it to look like that a little bit.
A few minutes later.
That is a very furry caterpillar. When all of that cools and I get all the strings off, this costume is done, which means it's time for the Hashbrown costume fashion show. Let's go to the runway, the dog walk. And now presenting the Kylee Makes It Halloween Dog Fashion Capsule Collection, starring model Hashbrown the dog.
That's a hot dog. Oh yeah! Work it! Ooh, look at that dog! Get it, HB! He's got the stuff! That's it! So trendy! Rockin' it! Ooh, that's good! Smile with your eyes. That's one handsome hound.
If you want to make more things like this with me and Hashbrown, you know what to do. Just search for more videos. Kylee Makes It. Kylee. That's me. And we'll see you next time.